President Trump held a salute to America last night. We'll have some highlights. And we hit the campaign trail and check in on some of the candidates running for president. And we take a look back on the life of a Holocaust survivor who recently died.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is just about 6:31 on this July 5th. Happy Friday. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, good morning to you.
Good morning once again, Connor. We're continuing to see the same old pattern that we've seen all week. Fog, then sun, then rain. Let's take a look and see what we're seeing this morning. Of course, it's the fog. We'll start with WYMT this morning, and you can see a blanket of that coating across the region, kind of sitting right there just above the ridge tops. Dense fog across the region. A lot of spots there, less than a mile of visibility. Logan and Jacksboro at 0 visibility this morning, so again, be very careful. Live pinpoint Doppler radar, pretty quiet as you head out the door. Temperatures in the upper 60s from about 67 in London, Harlan, Middlesboro, and Pikeville to 72 in Ashland this morning. Your Appcast, you can download that to track rain, get warnings, all kinds of good stuff, and to watch a video webcast there as well. We'll post updates on there frequently. You can see those chances for isolated scattered showers and storms pick up later today as temperatures top out in the upper 80s. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up here in a few minutes. Connor?
All right. Thank you, Brandon. Well, yesterday, President Trump became the first president in nearly 70 years to speak at the National Mall on Independence Day. The Salute to America ceremony honored the country's veterans and military might, but critics say it was focused too much on the president himself. CBS's News' Mark Liverman reports.
President Trump's vision for a blowout July 4th celebration was realized despite a rainy start.
Today we come together as one nation with this very special salute to America.
The president stuck to the script, calling for unity while honoring military and civil rights leaders.
Americans love our freedom, and no one will ever take it away from us.
Tanks sat by the Lincoln Memorial, and spectators witnessed flyovers from every military branch.
I feel it's important to support the people who take care of us and keep us free.
But the pomp and circumstance was not without controversy. The seating area closest to the president was reserved for VIPs. It included top GOP donors and others who snagged their tickets through the Republican National Committee and Pentagon. Democrats sounded off on the undisclosed cost and worried the display politicized the military.
Dishonors our troops, dishonors our service members and veterans because it's really all about Trump.
Demonstrators protested conditions in border facilities, with one group locking a baby Trump balloon in a cage. Mark Liverman, CBS News.
President Trump avoided political overtones in his speech, which potentially could have cost organizers millions of dollars in fines for using taxpayer money for campaign purposes. The total price tag of the event has yet to be made public, but likely ranges in the millions. And the 4th of July is gone, but there are still fireworks in Washington, D.C., at least in a political sense. If President Trump's tweet is to be believed, officials at the Department of Justice and Commerce spent the 4th of July holiday working on a way to get a citizenship question onto the 2020 census. This is after the Supreme Court ruled citizenship data shouldn't be on the upcoming census, saying the Trump administration didn't provide a strong enough reason to add it.
Chief Justice Roberts gave him the window. He said, you could come back with an alternative explanation. And of course, he called the one they'd offered contrived. So now they're in the awkward position of saying, well, if you didn't believe that story, why don't you try this?
President Trump and his supporters have repeatedly called for the citizenship question to be added, but it looks like an uphill battle. Customs and Border Protection Acting Chief John Sanders leaves the position today. When he announced his departure last month, Sanders did not say why he was leaving. His exit comes at a time of heightened scrutiny on the department as lawmakers and activists criticize the conditions of the migrant detention facilities on the border. The acting Secretary of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Mark Morgan, takes over for Sanders. This Independence Day was extra special for 500 new Americans in Washington state. They officially became citizens Thursday. The large group from all over the world took the oath during a naturalization ceremony in Seattle. The candidates came from more than 80 nations. Thursday, they walked away from Seattle Center as U.S. citizens.
The United States, make no mistake, is a country built by immigrants. Throughout our history, immigrants have renewed the spirit of the American dream. And now you are part of that American family.
Nearly 7,500 people around the country were sworn in Thursday in 110 naturalization ceremonies. And Democratic presidential hopefuls marked the Independence Day holiday flipping pancakes, petting pups, and pounding the pavement in early voting states. Mayor Pete Buttigieg, Senator Bernie Sanders, Senator Kamala Harris, and former Vice President Biden spent the day crisscrossing Iowa. Biden looked ahead to the next debate.
What I'm going to do is answer the questions I'm asked and try to move the debate where I think the Democratic Party needs to go.
National polls still show Biden as a front runner, with Senator Harris and Elizabeth Warren making gains among primary voters. Buttigieg raised nearly $25 million in the second quarter, just ahead of Biden and Sanders. With less than 6 months until the primary season, the race is on to win over voters. And Holocaust survivor and museum founder Eva Kor has died. The 85-year-old was known for opening the Candles Holocaust Museum in Indiana and speaking about her experience in Auschwitz concentration camp. Kor was taken to the notorious camp in Nazi-occupied Poland when she was just 10 years old. Kor and her twin sister were subject to human experimentation by Dr. Joseph Mengele. His horrific and inhuman experiments earned him the nickname Angel of Death. Kor died on an annual trip to Poland organized by her museum. Officials there say she passed peacefully. And Independence Day marked 6 months since Savannah Spurlock was last seen. The Madison County mother was last seen on January 4th. Investigators say she left a Lexington bar with a group of men and went to a home in Garrett County, but the rest is still unknown. Shelby Lofton talked with Savannah's mother as she continues to search for answers.
Savannah's birthday and other milestones have come and gone, but every day for the past 6 months, Ellen Spurlock wakes up and hopes her daughter will call or return home. The 22-year-old disappeared the night of January 4th after spending a night out with friends. Since then, social media pages, investigators, strangers, and her family have dedicated themselves to finding the mother of 4. The reward for finding her is now up to $15,000, and police are calling the case very active. Savannah's mother, Ellen, says today's anniversary is painful, but she won't stop until she has closure.
It gets harder and harder each day to hold out the faith that Savannah's okay. I mean, 6 months is a long time, and it's a holiday, another holiday that we have to celebrate without her.
Ellen told me she wants to stress that if anyone has any information regarding her daughter's whereabouts, to please come forward. You can leave a tip in one of the boxes in Garrett County or call Richmond Police. In Lexington, Shelby Lofton, WKYT.
Ellen Spurlock says she hasn't heard any details in her daughter's case. She says she keeps up with the Richmond Police Department and is confident they will solve the case. Well, a fire broke out outside a fireworks shop in South Carolina yesterday morning, sending fireworks into the air and closing a nearby road. Take a look. Containers outside Davy Jones Fireworks went up in flames. Smoke could be seen coming from the area as crews worked to put out the fire. There's no word on injuries or what may have sparked the flames. By about 7 a.m., firefighters had the fire under control and the road reopened. And Star City Day took place last night, bringing folks to downtown Prestonsburg for a night of music, vendors, and fun. Community members said the event was a success, bringing out crowds of support for the local food vendors, arts and crafts vendors, and local businesses. Live music played throughout the evening, leading to a fireworks show to cap off the night.
People come from all over the place. We, hands down, have the best show in Eastern Kentucky, and I would go as far as saying that we have one of the best shows in Kentucky.
Mayor Les Stapleton said the event is a celebration of community and country. He said it is always worth the months of preparation. And the city of Pikeville also hosted its annual 4th of July celebration last night, closing off Main Street and filling the city park with people. The event offered inflatable fun, free barbecue, and live music to community members. Director of Tourism Jimmy Taylor said the event turned out better than the city had expected.
We've got about 5,000 to 6,000 people here in downtown. We weren't expecting this many people. We're pleased with the turnout. It's great.
A fireworks show ended the night, a show that officials say was bigger than previous years. Now let's check in with Brandon for another look at today's forecast. Brandon?
Fog again over McKee, Connor. We're looking at, again, that dense fog. You can't even see the lights in the background there of the town. Even daylight bringing that fog in this morning. So we're going to continue to see that trend. Zero visibility now in Logan, Pikeville, Somerset, and in Jonesville. Most everybody else less than 1 mile visibility. Please be careful if you're heading out early this morning. Temperatures climbing a little bit anyway, down to 66 Monticello, Williamsburg, Middlesboro, Harlan, up to 72 in Ashland this morning. As we take a look at the temperature change, a few places like Monticello went down a degree or two. Most spots up a degree or two or even more. Out the door forecast up to the mid to upper 80s later today as we see those chances for scattered showers and storms again pop up after we see sun and clouds after the fog this morning. Connor?
All right, thanks, Brendan. We will have stories trending on WYMT.com next. Thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. And lightning caused some serious injuries to some folks in South Carolina. We will take you there to tell you what happened. And a very warm 4th of July took over one of the coldest places in the country.